Alright, none of these giant monster videos are getting any views, but unfortunately, I am not a quitter, so we're not giving up. Today, we have another giant monster. This issue is Tales of Suspense. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling like some suspense. This one jumped out at me because, lo and behold, well, you can probably tell from the tentacles, he lives, he moves, he's Monstro, the menace from the murky depths. Look at this guy. Look at this. It's terrifying, it's interesting, and look at the size of him. Look at the size of him relative to those tiny little fishermen, those tiny little... definitely gonna die fishermen. Look at the boat, man. Look at this boat right here. He dwarfs it, it's so tiny, so... And look, he's slapping a goddamn airplane out of the sky. You know how big he has to be to do that? I guarantee with 100% certainty he doesn't appear that big in the comic book. But it was enough to get my attention anyway, and I don't know, I'm desperate to get this giant monsters thing to work. Anyway, let's get down to business. Without warning, as suddenly as a thunderclap, Monstro appeared on that fateful day at a seaport in a small Iron Curtain nation, and the world trembled. An Iron Curtain nation? Does that mean he's on the other end of the Iron Curtain? So somewhere east of Igor. Yeah, it's somewhere in there. Okay, Igor, look, what is that? Oh, it looks like, but how can it be an enormous tentacle? Another staggeringly huge tentacle lashed out of the water, smashing the pier to smithereens. Okay, so look at him. He looks like, I reckon the eyes look vaguely like another Atomic Age monster, maybe from movies. I don't know. I feel like the more I read these books, the more I feel like Marvel is just copying whatever was in the movies at the time. And I feel that, you know, like visually and aesthetically, probably, definitely. What's the name of the giant monster, the giant octopus from the Godzilla movies? I should look that up. Seconds later, a nightmarish head, the head of an unbelievably huge octopus, broke the surface, each unblinking eye as large as a tank. But no, it cannot be. No living thing can be that big, but there is one thing that can be that big, the generically named Monstro. Run! Flee for your lives. It is an evil spirit. It will destroy us all. It's not an evil spirit. It's a giant octopus. Idiot. I am going to faint. What? What if he should try to come up to the shore? Nothing could stop him. Yes, nothing could stop him. Monstro, the menace from the murky depths. Look at that. It is the eyes. It's the eyes that really sell the goddamn thing. I mean... it gives it an eerily, like, look at the way he stares. It's menacing. It's like he wants to do you harm. I shouldn't have read. It's nighttime. I'm gonna give myself fucking nightmares with this bullshit. But the monster didn't move towards shore. It didn't? Why not? It just remained where it was, swinging its giant tentacles until the next day when suddenly, the people are fleeing the city. They've named the octopus Monstro. You guys know why that's relevant, right? Monstro from fucking Pinocchio, who also happens to be another giant living aquatic creature that they pulled from a movie. Marvel, they're such good rip-off artists, and I'm not even mad. I love it. It's impossible to believe that any one living creature could do so much damage. One thing is certain. Unless we destroy that octopus, he's going to destroy this seaport. There's no telling where he'll strike next. This guy looks important with all of his designs and such. I recognize the red star. That's a commie star, right? For the communists. This was 1960. Yeah, they were still communists. Are they still communists now? I don't even fucking know. But the problem is, the only thing powerful enough to harm that creature would be an atom bomb, and that would also demolish the port. Let it go. Fuck the port. Kill the thing. We can't let the seaport be demolished. It's vital to our defense. There must be another answer. Don't, dude, if you're worried about the Americans, we'll understand. Like, kill it. The only nation that might supply the answer is the United States. If their scientific knowledge were pooled with ours. Good, bring them together. Let's close the Iron Curtain. Close the Iron Curtain. Bring them all together, man. For the sake of defeating the giant octopus. What? You dare speak treason? I could have you shot for saying that. Use your head. This is a national emergency. We must save our seaport by any means. Agreed. This is no time to argue. Contact the American scientists. Every second counts. Meanwhile, in an aquarium some 6,000 miles away, my assistant was reading me the latest news. It says the commies deny that they've been secretly testing atomic weapons. Ah, you've been secretly testing atomic weapons? That always ends up in a giant animal, goddammit, and you knew it. You knew it and you did it anyway. They call it more capitalistic warmongering propaganda. Yeah, I'll bet they're as innocent as little lambs. Anyway, here's a giant octopus. Who could have thunk that one coming? Yet little did the Americans dream that 6,000 miles away something monstrous was occurring, which would soon menace the very life of one of them. Just one American is going to be menaced. If ever they run against anything too big for them to lie about, I'll bet that... Hold it! That is our line to Washington. Yes, sir, very well. I'll be ready to leave in 1 single hour. That was the State Department. One of the commie countries has requested aid in getting rid of a giant octopus that's menacing the seaport. So for the purpose of improving international relations, I'm to go help them out. Hey, that's exactly what I'm saying. Drop the Iron Curtain. Okay, pal, I'll mind the store till you get back. And didn't that, I mean, they did drop the Iron Curtain, but I think that wasn't until the 80s? Was it the 80s or the early 90s or something like that? 7 hours later, one of our Air Force jets landed me in red territory. I was greeted warmly, an indication of how much the commies needed help, because otherwise they would just stab you on the spot, as is their custom. We are very happy to see you, Professor Faraday. Modesty was never one of my virtues, gentlemen. Wait. You're one of the foremost authorities in ocean life in your country. Modesty was never one of my virtues, gentlemen, but I didn't come here to swap compliments. They wasted no time getting me to the seaport. When I arrived, I could see why. Jesus, look at that thing. I take it back. It is as big as it was on the cover. There, that's why we couldn't describe it with mere words. It's wrecking our port. It's beyond belief. Incredible. There was only one thing to do. I donned my skin diving gear? Is that what that's called? Whatever. And with every nerve in my body trembling, I rode straight towards the nightmarish behemoth. But what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do when you get there? No matter what the risk, I have to get close to the monster. My only hope is that one lone man will be too small for Monstro to notice. Ah, he noticed you. Now's my chance. His head is under the surface, but what you didn't realize is that he's got these big, disgusting eyes. He's gonna notice you. I've got to get close to him with this detector. Now I've done it. But his eyes, yes, the eyes, they're opening and he sees, oh, you idiot. You stupid, handsome American idiot. That tentacle, it's lunging for me. I'll never make it to the ship. But one of the sea's most vicious killer unwittingly saves my life, for at that moment a giant man-eating shark caught my scent and knifed towards me, only to find itself in the grip of the most powerful living thing on Earth. Monstro had ignored me and seized the larger prey. So it's hungry? Does it eat? Does it have a mouth? I heard octopus mouths are fucking gross. I heard they're terrifying. I heard they have a beak. But what do I know about animal anatomy? As I frantically rowed back to port, I could see the waters churning furiously as the gigantic beast made short work of the helpless shark. So he ate it or he killed it? After a few seconds, that's all I need. Another few seconds. What was your plan? What did you even do? Look out, he's coming this way! Hurry, Professor! Yes, Nervous, trembling hands lifted me to safety, and then I ran. We all ran from the savage, thundering attack of Monstro, who hurled his giant bulk against the crumbling docks. Yes, we just made it. There's no telling what the monster will do next, goddammit. You've seen him, Professor. Tell us, how can we destroy him? Let me think about that one. You can't destroy him. There's nothing you can do. Just leave him alone, and I promise he'll bother you no more after 24 hours. What? That's it? That's the best you can do? Come on, you're making America look bad. Leave him alone, are you mad? Who are you to promise anything? Ah, miserable capitalists. You refuse to help us. You want Monstro to destroy us. I knew we shouldn't ask for help from an American. Come on, where are you going with this? Come on. Help me out here. Without giving the explanation, I was unable to convince the government officials I had told them the truth. I checked into a hotel to wait until the following day when I'd be able to get a flight out of the country. But that night, the mob comes. Yeah, they should have told you about the communist mobs, man. They're notorious for their mobs. Oh, I don't like the looks of that mob. Yeah, look at him. With your stupid ass pipe. They're gonna kill you, man. They're gonna kill you. Monstro is destroying our port, but the American will not help. He has turned his back on us. We must seize the American as we've seized the means of production, and then force him to aid us as we have forced the means of production. However, using Monstro's next attack as a diversion, I quit. You knew there was gonna be another attack and you did nothing? I feel Monstro coming closer. We must run for our lives. God. Now's the chance. Get out, get out, get out. Under cover of night, I made my way along the coast until I came to another pier. I found a freighter bound for the United States and I stowed aboard. Full steam ahead. Leave that stupid octopus. The commies can handle it. It's fine. Though no other ship will ever again enter these waters so long as Monstro lives. If he ever heads out to sea, it will be the end of the ocean travel. No ship would dare ply the sea lanes. Well, we have boats, I mean. The fools! By tomorrow, Monstro will be no longer a menace. But they don't understand. Okay. Place your bets now. What do you guys think is going to happen to Monstro? I think he's going to just starve to death. Or some stupid... It'll be some stupid bullshit. He's going to starve to death, or he's going to crumble under his own weight, or whatever. Or he's an alien and his people are going to come and get him, or some stupid bullshit. But let's see. Let's see the Marvel cop-out ending. 12 days later, I was back in the USA. Extra American professor hero still missing. A hero? Then he goes straight to Washington, where he will be lauded as a hero. Yes, that is right, Mark. A few hours after you examined that octopus, he started to get smaller, and by the time 24 hours had passed, he was down to normal size. Then he was no longer a menace. But how did you know it would happen, and why did you refuse to tell the Reds? Because fuck them commies. Simple. I suspected that Monstro was an ordinary type of octopus that had just grown much larger, and there's only one thing I know that can cause abnormal growth: radioactivity. So I tested the octopus with a Geiger counter and I found it was right. He was radioactive. Monstro had come into that gulf from the ocean. The Reds must have been secretly testing atomic weapons, and Monstro had accidentally been exposed to radioactive fallout. So I knew the radiation would soon wear off Monstro, inasmuch as he was no longer in the area of the ocean, which was contaminated, and I calculated 24 hours to be that time. Oh my god. But I couldn't tell this to the Reds because they would probably have destroyed the port and the octopus rather than have such evidence around that they had secretly tested nuclear weapons. I see. Well, now they've acclaimed you a hero, and they want you to go back there and give them an explanation. What will you do? Do? I'll do what they ask. I'll tell them and the whole world about that radioactivity. And since it's the only possible answer for my prediction coming true, everyone will have to believe me. Maybe when the Reds' secret atomic testing is exposed, they'll realize it's time for them to stop abusing nature, and to start living with their neighbors in peace instead of secretly plotting against them. Maybe this menace of Monstro was actually a blessing in disguise. Oh man, making a bold political statement that capitalism is better than communism, I see. What a way to end your comic book. You'd be surprised how often in the 60s that was the end of the comic book. That would be, I mean, Jesus Christ. Everybody hunted commies back then. Every American comic book hated communism. And I mean, that makes sense. It was the Cold War after all. But in our defense, the commies were testing radioactive nuclear fallout. I have just one question remaining in my noggin. What about the radiation? Radiation doesn't just go away, right? Doesn't it take decades to wear off? So, sure, the octopus decreased in size, but what? Next it's gonna be a shark? Some kind of giant clam? I mean, it's whatever. I'm thinking too much into it. All right, Monstro, that's fine. I give it a solid 7 out of 10. I like the idea. I like the giant octopus. I like that he's different. I like that it happened in Russia instead of America. I like that. It's a different setting. Yeah, it's just different enough where I feel like a month from now, I'll remember Monstro, whereas I don't remember shit about the Easter Island heads. But that's it. That's it. What do you guys think? Give me a review on a scale of 1 to 10. What do you think of Monstro, the thing from the murky deep? He's radioactive. He's fucking he's giant and radioactive. That's all of them. You know, all of them in the atomic age. But anyway, that's it for this comic book. If you liked reading this comic with me and you want to read more comics with me, like this video, subscribe to the channel. Until next time, nerds, stay heroic.